yourself true or false in media, whatever, that was just like, wow.
Honestly?
Yeah. Please.
Okay.
Fans have wondered if the idea that Hollywood is trying to silence Dave Chapelle is true after hearing some pretty wild accusations from Katt Williams during a recent radio interview. The only way to find out is to watch. During a recent radio interview, Katt Williams made some outlandish claims about how disgruntled executives were responsible for the demise of Dave Chapelle's career. The comedian went on the Don Magic Wand show to talk about his fellow comedy greats while promoting his upcoming HBO special, Priceless. Although Katt has a sizable fan base, he never boasts about his abilities. He credits Bernie Mac with having a major impact on his own success. Things started to go off the rails when Katt started talking about all the backstage shenanigans in the entertainment industry. The reason you don't know these stories is that there's no one to tell you, and you can't make me tell you, the comedian said with a smile. Not long after, Katt began dishing some major dirt on what he believes derailed Dave Chapelle's career. Without naming names, the troubled comic suggested that the higher-ups at Comedy Central killed Dave's character to destroy his career. Dave Chapelle was beheaded in front of us, Katt said.
Decapitated in front of us. And until we deal with that, until we deal with the fact that a devout Muslim who doesn't eat bacon was accused of being a crackhead, until we establish the fact that they said that he went to Africa to smoke cocaine.
Katt continued by saying that the elites in Hollywood had tried very hard to extort Dave and cancel his show. Executives allegedly offered Dave $50 million on a contract, which is only 10% of what he actually made, said Katt. According to Katt, the executives turned on Dave after he complained about being grossly underpaid. He said, "What do you think my fans are going to say when they find out you offered me 10% of what I made you?" And they said, "Your fans will believe that you're a crazy crackhead by the time you get home." Katt stated, "By the time he got to Ohio, it was so." Katt added, 8 years later, he hasn't been in a movie or television. He's just not trying to do his real comeback. Katt's tone in the interview was off, so it's hard to take his statements at face value. While his claims are intriguing, they are probably not true. When making sweeping assertions without supporting evidence, people put themselves in harm's way. This is not to suggest, however, that Katt is telling outright lies. Katt's actions over the past few years make it difficult to take him at his word. We'll find out in time if Katt's claims hold water. Indeed, stranger occurrences have taken place. Dave Chapelle has always tried to break new ground with his brand of comedy, but recently he has received a lot of criticism for his antics. Jokes in the comic have been criticized for being offensive to the LGBTQ+ community, particularly transgender people. That's why a lot of people have been boycotting his recent performances. Chapelle, aware of the reaction to his sentiments, is now discussing what specifically bothers him about the decision to mock his work. In an earlier interview with Oprah Winfrey, the comedian revealed the methods used by Hollywood elites to silence him.
I've been in show business since I was 14. They're trying to kill me. The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm insane. They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication. Yeah, like I'm sitting around, I was stressed out, but the people that were telling me I was insane, I believe that they knew what was going on. This was troublesome. So I'm not taking this medicine.
The famous comedian also discussed an incident that took place during his performance at Minneapolis Varsity Theater last summer. There was pushback against the rescheduled event, and protesters gathered around the venue. Some people threw eggs at the people waiting in line for the show, Chapelle recalled on an episode of his podcast, The Midnight Miracle, and one person threw a police barricade into the crowd. The comedian reflected on how the show went on as planned and how, upon his entrance, he received a standing ovation because suddenly going to see a comedy show was this huge act of defiance. The man who came up with the idea for Chapelle's show added that he doesn't think any of the protesters had malicious intent and that he's not mad when people criticize his work. But his main point is that he should be allowed to keep speaking his mind even if others disagree with him. "I'm not even mad that they take issue with my work. Good, fine, who cares? What I take issue with is the idea that because they don't like it, I'm not allowed to say it. Art is a nuanced endeavor. I have a belief that they are trying to take the nuance out of speech in American culture, that they're making people speak as if they're either on the right or the left. Everything seems absolute, and any opinion I respect is way more nuanced than these binary choices that they keep putting in front of us. I don't see the world in red or blue." In addition, the celebrity cast doubt on the idea that the public is trying to silence an entertainer like himself, claiming that such actions have nothing to do with love. Instead, he contends that it's all related to anxiety. "They want to be feared. If you say this, then we will punish you. We'll come to First Avenue and fuck your show up, and we'll come to the Varsity Theater and fuck your show up." and they just don't get to do that. He added, these disagreements are related to a larger debate about free speech. Several other celebrities share his view that nuance has no place in modern culture. It could be argued, however, that freedom of speech does not guarantee immunity from criticism. It's a complicated discussion that's not going away anytime soon. Do the powerful in Hollywood have a hand in this effort to keep Dave from speaking out? But hey, you never know, so stay tuned for updates. Okay, folks, I'll be back in a minute with another video. Thanks for watching.